Hi guys, it's been another good week on the market. I've kept my discipline and I've closed the week green. I've had two nice trades actually on the same ticker. So today I'm going to talk about multi-day setups that occur within the same stock. So we're going to be looking at a day 2 gapper and a third day surge setup. A lot of my videos are on either third day surge or first green day bounce setups. So it'll be nice to look at a day 2 move and other setups that occurred within the same stock. So let's go to the chart. So the ticker we're going to look at is EVTV. So I'll go to the daily chart first of all. And you can see it's had a big run up on high volume on this day. And then it's continued on day 2, pull back. And then it looks like it has bounced here and it looks like it's going to continue to go. So I'm going to look at several setups within this ticker. We're going to go to day 1 first, which I didn't trade, but I think it's still interesting to look at and the way in which, other traders will be trading this. So this is its day 1 on the intraday 1 minute time frame, and can see, it's had a push pre-market. And then where I feel you could have traded it, which again, I don't tend to trade these things on day 1 because I'm not particularly good at them. However, if I was watching this, which I wasn't, maybe I would have taken a go at this. So can see on market open, it's pushed out the gate to 130-ish. And then it's pulled back literally to $1 and it's bounced off it. So that's a nice entry there off $1. However, you kind of got to be quite quick to get in there. So you could kind of watch what it did, bounced off, and then it came back down and it tried to retest that area, made a higher low. And that would have been confirmation, actually, this is going to continue to push off this area here. So I think anywhere around here could have been a nice entry. Probably have to get in here really if you're going to risk off $1. Yeah, I mean, ideally it would have been here. And also you've got this VWAP hold as well, which is kind of key. So as I said, I'm not very good at these. I don't know if this is the best analysis, but I think there's definitely a strong argument to take that trade off $1. And then that continued all the way up to 178. So that would have been a nice move. So I didn't take it on that day, as I said, but we are going to look at day 2 trade. So I'll rarely trade on day 2, only if it meets very specific criteria. And even then, I'm not always on the lookout for if this setup is there or not. However, I was watching this for a day 2 move. And what I like to see is a strong push after hours and pre-market from its day 1, which it did. So it's got clear momentum behind it. And then I'm looking for a retest of day 1's highs. And this is something that Roland Wolf teaches on a day 2 setup. If it retests day 1 highs, that's a good entry point, or even day 2 close. But depending on where the close is, I guess, you don't want it to be like way down. You don't want it to be too far down from the high of day, from day 1. So I'm looking at buying it. Let's have a look at day 1 highs on the daily chart is 261. And if we go into the intraday, you can see it's opening at, in the 3s. So I'm just waiting to see if this pulls back and can hold high of day. So I'm seeing it here. And if I just zoom in, I've got so many lines. I apologise because I've traded this on multiple days. This line here is the day 1 high of day. You can see it dip down on this candle, and then this candle here was where I took it, and I can't remember where I got in now. Yeah, I got in at 265. I'm pretty sure I got in on this candle, and I'm basically just going to risk off this line here, 262. I'm not going to wait around to see if it tests it out more. I'm thinking that's a really good, really tight risk. I can take that, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But as you can see, it bounced off that level and then it just absolutely ripped, which is a really nice trade. I didn't expect such an explosive move off this area. I thought it might take a little while to actually get up here. So I just sold along the way. I think my best sell was 397, I think it was, something like that. Maybe 394. I did feel it could push further, but as I say, I don't play these day twos very often. I don't think they set up very often, actually, so I've not got that much experience in them. And I felt 4 is a good move, really. So I managed to get a 28% gain on this. I think my average sell was around 339, so somewhere around there. But with all the sales combined, that was a 28% gain. Really nice move, and just cool to see how it works. Literally bouncing off the day one high of day. It couldn't have been more perfect. Didn't dip like even a cent below it, so really nice. And then, as you can see, it pushed a lot higher. Had to watch that one go without me, but still got a nice chunk of the move. So now I'm looking at this for another setup as the days go on, which was a 3rd day surge setup. So it's actually occurred on day 4. However, if we look at the daily chart, I'm classing this day, first day 1 and day 2, I'm classing them as one day because it just basically continued its move upwards. So for me, that's day 1. This red day here is day 2, and then this is the 3rd day surge. So I'll go on to the 5-minute time frame. That's where its day 1 was, even though it was day 2, and then a nice pullback and consolidation on these days here. So there was also a nice volume drop off, which is always key on this setup. You can see pre-market on the 3rd day surge, it wants to hold this area, which is nice actually, because you've got all these areas of support around here. However, ideally, I would like it to retest day 2's low of day. It doesn't always work out that way, and the way this was setting up, it looked like it just wanted to hold this area. So I'm going to zoom into the 1 minute now. Here. So I'm thinking this may not come back down any lower. And I just wanted to get a piece, so I did take a piece here, and I was risking off this low here, and as you can see, just before market open it broke that and I cut. So I was still on the lookout to see if it could come anywhere close to this area. I just zoom in. It's kind of hovering around here, and ideally I would have liked it a bit lower, but I felt the setup was there and that this was going to go, and I could get in. I think I got in at 287 pre-market, risking off 278, and yeah, got in just before market open, and then glad I did because it just started to rip out of the gate, and I didn't do very well on this one actually with my sells. At this point here, I'm up over 30%. I think I was looking too much at my PT rather than percentage gain as well, because I do normally consider if I'm up 30%, that's like I need to be locking in there. But yeah, totally missed off this area because I was waiting for this PT. I hadn't actually sold any by this point, I don't think. I was really pushing for my profit target of up here. So I sat through all of this. Didn't actually take off any at this point, and I'm just thinking, it's up so much and I'm still not taking any off. And then this really hard crack here, I was like, oh god, I've messed this up. And so I waited for a bit of a recovery, and I took about a quarter off at 20%, and then I just had to I thought, you know what, I still think this can go. And I changed my risk level to the red-green area. So the previous day's close. And I thought, I still think this might come back down, test it and then go. I'm just going to, if I miss out on a big chunk, I'm just going to stick to my plan. And that's that. So it came all the way back down to red green, which is obviously like, you don't want to see it do that because all your profits from here are pretty much gone. Obviously I was still sitting on a profit because I'd got in so low, but definitely left money on the table there. But then it did do a nice recovery, and it didn't push any further. I thought it was really trying to, and it couldn't. So I ended up just selling where I could, and I really thought about swinging this because, as I said, the setup was there. It hadn't reached the potential that I thought it could bounce to, and I was thinking, do I hold this into the next day? But in the end, I just sold, and I think I took like a 15% gain, which is kind of annoying because I could have just taken a single for 30% really. But that's all right. It is important to stick to my plan. And then if we just go ahead and look at what happened, it actually held that red-green area after hours. And then the next day, it started to push again. Went even higher than this point here, almost went up to my profit target that I was hoping for. And then it's just continued to hold up after hours, so there's a good chance this could continue to squeeze. So I think my thesis and my profit target was accurate. It's just this is taking a bit longer to play out than I thought. So kind of happy with my thesis on it. I think it did have the bounce potential, and it is showing that, but kind of changed my plan. I didn't want to swing it, and that's that. So that's EVTV, and as you can see, there's like multiple setups within that ticker, which is very cool, and I'll be watching this just to see what it does next week. Probably won't be trading it again, but just interested to see where it goes to. So today's video was a good example of how you can trade stocks in many different ways, whether that's on day 1, day 2, or day 3, and as you'll see from my other videos, day 4 and beyond. It's just about developing criteria for your setups and seeing what's working in the market, and also what you're good at and what you're comfortable with. So for me, I don't tend to trade day 1s. I wish I could, because I feel there's a lot of opportunity there, and I really admire people that can trade day 1s and react quickly, but it doesn't really fit my personality and having to make decisions in a limited amount of time. I will try them from time to time if the right setup occurs and on small size. And just a quick overview of the market this week, it's definitely shifted from a fader market to more of a chaser market, which is great to see. We've had runners that are over 100%, they're closing the day over 100%, and the runners are actually holding up and they're squeezing in the days to follow. So I'll be watching to see if this momentum continues next week, and if it does, it might be a time for me to get more aggressive with my size and my profit targets. So let's see what happens. Thanks for watching. Catch you next Sunday.